Welcome to the Stack Supplement Podcast, the premier source for supplement news and reviews.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Stack Supplement Podcast, where we go over all of the exciting stories and awesome announcements shared on our website from the past 7 days. I apologize once again for last week being a bit slow. It's actually my wife's birthday, but I figured since Labor Day was this week, I would work on that day instead. So here we go. We've got this week's roundup, or last week's roundup of all the exciting stories we had. And to be honest, it was a much better week last week. A hell of a lot better week. We were just full on busy as per usual, but there was just a lot more big announcements, big stories. First off, we'll do some in-house stuff with details on Clash of the Cans. Obviously, we've mentioned this in previous episodes. The Clash of the Cans is back for 2020. We've been running it for the past 3 weeks. We took it from about 50 energy drinks. Actually, I suppose I should explain for those unfamiliar with Clash of the Cans, it is basically our competition to find the most popular energy drink with our audience, with our readers, with our fans, where we get everybody to vote on their favorite. It's a ladder-style contest, so we start off with, I think it's just over 50, around 50, then we break it down to 16, and then the top 8 from that 16 that we divided up into groups. Not top 8, top 4 from that 16, then vote one-on-one, and then we take the 2 most popular for the grand final. And these past few weeks we've been running the contest. It's been more popular than ever, as expected. It was a crazy awesome hit last year, so we brought it back this year. And in the semi-final we had C4 going up against Rain, and Bang going up against Rays. So just 4 insanely popular, awesomely popular energy drinks. I'm a fan, enjoy them all. But surprisingly, the champ was knocked out. C4 Carbonated was taken out by Rain, who brought on a bit of a strong show of force in the second half of the week. They were leading a bit, and then they just kind of really pulled it over in the last few days. And Rays, I'm pretty sure they actually beat. I'm pretty sure they beat Bang last year. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. I know that they were good at the underdog last year. It's a very loyally followed beverage, but it proved extremely popular with fans last year, making it all the way to the final, going up against C4. But this year, yeah, so it's Rays beat out Bang, made it through to the grand final, and Rain beat out C4 Carbonated. So, and as mentioned, C4 Carbonated was last year's winner, the first winner. Coincidentally, Sally Cole was also the first ever winner of our Protein Wars contest, which is the similar size style contest for protein powders. But yeah, so we've got Rain and Rays in the final. It's got a nice ring to it, and more importantly, no matter who wins, we've got a new champion. So voting is on now. You can go over and show your support over at clashofthecans.com. I actually love both energy drinks. I'm a fan of both. I have fans from both. I love I'm not great with the names on Rain. Neither am I with Rays, but I love their mango one. I think it is. To be honest, I'm a fan of most of the Rain flavors. Same with Rays. Phantom Freeze is my favorite one from Rays. However, and the guava colada. I can't remember the name. Sorry, strawberry colada. Sorry, not guava. Strawberry colada from the original Rays. They both have great flavors. So I'm voting one each. I'm dividing my votes up one each for each beverage each day, and then on Sunday I'm going to decide not to vote and let the cards fall where they fall. But yeah, check them out. clashofthecans.com. Have your say. Show your support. That's all we ask. Share the contest, spread the word, and let's all have some fun and see who comes out on top. But moving on from that, we're going to get into the stories shared from last week, and we're going to kick off with the next an energy drink related one. And this comes from MTS Nutrition and Mark Loblein. And now he announced that he is working on a beverage for Black Friday. Now, when I reached out for more information, because they just posted a vague picture of their logo forced onto a couple of cans, right? It wasn't anything official. It was just a mock-up draft concept image. And what turned out was that they actually put this up to gauge interest on their fans, and MTS being in the beverage category, the beverage market, and proved, not too surprisingly, other brands, we've seen other brands do this kind of thing, and they always end up getting a great reception. Not surprising. This is the energy market, the beverage market. Sorry, not energy. The beverage market is huge. It's booming. It's one of the fastest growing ones we've seen in quite some time. Regardless of whether you're talking about energy drink, protein drink, amino drink, it's proving quite popular. Convenience is always an awesome thing to have. And so they put out the image and they gauged the interest, and the interest was big. Of course it was big. And so basically, from what I gather, they are now working on a beverage and they're hoping to have it out in time for Black Friday, as per the original post. So and Black Friday is, to be honest, while Black Friday sounds like a while away, because this year feels like it's been going on forever, it's not that long away. It's only 12 weeks, which is kind of nice to know that when in 12 weeks, when MTS has their beverage out, we're then only going to be like a few weeks away from the end of the year. So, and Christmas more like it. But yeah, it's they're going to be coming out with the beverage. They didn't tell me what kind of beverage. My suspicion is MTS Nutrition is obviously a sports nutrition brand. So you would be, of course it's going to be sports nutrition related, which puts you into three kinds of markets: an amino drink, an energy drink, or a protein drink. I suspect an energy drink, that just seems to be the trend right now. I said this was a trend a couple years ago. It's now turned into a full damn trend with more than just a handful of brands jumping in. But yeah, it's I'm intrigued. Mark did say he was only going to do it if he could find out a unique angle. So, but unique angles, they can be anything really. So I'm intrigued to see how it turns out, if it actually turns out. Whether we get a launch or reveal, because 12 weeks for a product that's not in production, that's a quick turnaround. So I'm excited to see what comes of this, at least the effort that they're going to put into thinking about this idea. But yeah, so we don't know a whole lot, just that the goal now is to have an MTS Nutrition beverage out on Black Friday, or by Black Friday. And as far as convenience goes, we also got an interest, not really convenience, but an interesting product out last week from Quest Nutrition. There were actually two. One was exciting, the other was hugely exciting, especially when the launch came about a few days later. But I'll start off with the still exciting but less exciting compared to the other item. So Quest came out with a new flavor for its Quest pizza, which is actually called Quest Loaded Pizza. This one, this is it's no different in terms of macros though. I mean, I looked at it and I thought this was going to be maybe like a nutritionally dense product, like a higher calorie, higher protein. It's not. It's kind of, I think the name Loaded Pizza is just a play on the fact that it's, I'll explain what it is. So it's a meat lovers pizza, a meat lovers flavor of their healthy, low net carb, high protein pizza. And I believe it's just called Loaded Pizza because it's loaded with meat. Again, the macros are no different. Well, not like no different, but they at least in the same ballpark as the other flavors of which, if you're unfamiliar, there's Supreme 4 cheese and pepperoni. There's also a spinach and mushroom, which was introduced last year through Target. But so yeah, this would be the first, I guess, mainstream launch new flavor, because if I'm not mistaken, the spinach and mushroom is not on the Quest Nutrition website. This one is the new meat lovers, the new loaded Quest pizza. So yeah, this is, I guess, the first entirely new, broadly available product for the flavor for the Quest pizza. But yeah, it's looks damn good. I mean, I'm always I'm a meat pizza fan, and the other ones, 4 cheese, pepperoni, and supreme, were not as meat loaded as I would have liked. So this is right up my alley. They've packed it with a true meat lovers combination. You got Canadian style bacon, spicy Italian sausage, and uncured pepperoni all on the one pizza with that same lean, I guess healthier flour-free crust. The macros on this one, as I mentioned, despite the name being Loaded Pizza, the macros aren't too different from the other flavors. In fact, it's no higher in protein than some of the other ones. All up, you get 66 grams of protein per pizza, 53 grams of carbs, with only 7 grams of that sugar, 38 fiber, 810 calories, and of the net carbs, once you factor in all the numbers, you only get 15 grams of net carbs per pizza. So it's pretty damn good. Like I said, it's around about the same as the others. But the loaded pizza is a little bit more expensive on Quest Nutrition's website. I think you can buy a box of 6. Yeah, a box of 6 for $65.94 on the Quest Nutrition website, and that's for any of the other flavors. The new loaded Meat Lovers one is $74.99. So it's a little bit more. It's just over $1 extra a pizza, I guess. Isn't too bad, $1.50. But obviously, if you're a Meat Lovers fan, I guess it's a small price to pay, $1.50 extra. But so as mentioned though, there are 2 big stories from Quest Nutrition last week. The Meat Lovers pizza was one. The other one should be, I saw this and I was like, kind of double, what's the word? Kind of just blinking, clearing my eyes, making sure I'm seeing what I'm seeing. But Quest Nutrition has come out with peanut butter cups. Now, new Quest fans or more recent Quest fans, oh, cool, that's a great snack. But long-time Quest fans will know that this isn't entirely new for the brand. This is actually a return for Quest Nutrition. They had protein peanut butter cups out a while ago under the name Quest Cravings. They were around for a while. I tried to look up. I couldn't remember the exact. I think it was available maybe just shy of 10 years ago. That was when it was launched. I'm not entirely sure when they'd actually discontinued them. A lot of the big brands, it's hard to tell because stock hangs around in a lot of stores. But yeah, it was introduced, as far as I know, in and around 10 years ago. I could be wrong, I could be way off, I could be spot on, but I have no idea when it was discontinued. But yeah, it's basically, back then, it was basically Quest Nutrition's take on high protein peanut butter cups. Now, their new product the brand has come out with is the exact same thing. However, my suspicion is these things taste amazing. Mostly because, Quest were in the game. They were on the market, they had a product, fans loved them, it was unique, and so that they've got the experience in this area, so they know what a good protein peanut butter cup tastes like. So you have to imagine that they're only going to, I'm hoping they've done better than before. Not that the before was bad, but in this day and age, when things modernize, they get better. My suspicion is these things are better. More importantly, is that the new ones are lower in protein. And as I've said 1,000 times before, typically the lower the protein, the more room for better taste and flavor, and consistency and texture and all that. So while it's, I think it's 11 grams of protein per pack, so you get 2 peanut butter cups per pack of the new Quest protein peanut butter cups. And there's 11 grams of protein in the pack, so it's only 5.5 per cup. Whereas in the original Quest Cravings peanut butter cups, you got 20 grams of protein. So almost half the protein. I've had bars that taste like, I've had bars from brands that have 20 grams and then they have a smaller version at 14 grams, and it's like a night and day difference. I'm like, this other one's good, but this one just blows it away. My suspicion, this is going to be another very noticeable difference when you go from 20 grams of protein to 11, and that's not even taking into account the all the things that I guess Quest might be doing different on this one. But I'm hoping for a rich, candy, realistic peanut butter cup experience. I mean, Quest has done some pretty good stuff over the years. I expect nothing but awesomeness from this one. I'll probably try and pick it up, to be honest. We've got a few other exciting snacks coming in, and pre-workouts being reviewed. But you get 11 grams of protein per pack, so 5.5 per cup, 15 grams of fat in the entire pack, 13 grams of carbohydrates with only a gram of net carbs. So again, compared to the pizza, this is nothing, and 190 calories, and a gram of less than a gram of sugar. The formula and the ingredients used for this one are also pretty simple. You got whey isolate being the main ingredient for the protein count of 11 grams, and then there's also cocoa butter, peanuts, unsweetened chocolate. So it's a pretty clean, modern snack. I'm interested to try it. They said it's very heat sensitive, so my concern is having it be delivered and set out on the doorstep for a while. These things can ruin it, but I might just grab it anyway. It sounds good, looks good. But yeah, so it was big things from Quest last week. But even bigger things from other brands. The next one we have is actually from Beyond Raw. Now, Beyond Raw obviously GNC exclusive brands. Haven't seen too much from them this year, but they kind of came out. I didn't even see. They may have announced this somewhere. I didn't see an announcement anyway, but I saw it on GNC. So Beyond Raw has a pre-workout called Lit. I guess one of their flagship star supplements. There's also Lit AF, which is their more intense version, more advanced pre-workout. But this is the news this week isn't about a more advanced Lit or an upgraded formula. It is a new flavor. And the reason it's exciting is because it is a collaboration, and not just any collaboration. This is a pretty big one because this is a flavor that I've seen, heard, even likened to, that many companies have attempted to get close to. And it is none other than Jolly Rancher. These guys, Jolly Rancher, they've teamed up with the candy company and put together 2 authentic Jolly Rancher flavors. There is watermelon, the classic watermelon, and I think the other one's green apple. Yeah, green apple. And again, this is the big one purely because it's a candy that I've seen many brands say that their watermelon, their candy watermelon, their candy apple is like, and it's something they just aim for, just because it's that iconic, it's that classic, it's that candy that everybody knows. But now Beyond Raw has just gone straight over that and teamed up with the candy itself and gone right, tried to hit it home. Now, I haven't tried this, of course, but teaming up with the company does tend to lead to a greater flavor, greater taste. Well, so far I've seen, but it looks good. It's available at GNC now. No change in formula, no change in price. You'll be paying the same for the Jolly Rancher flavors as you would for any of the others. But you can check it out on gnc.com. I think they have it in stock there. Or just read more and get a closer look on the site. Just type in Beyond Raw. The next story we have, and this is, I'll touch on this one. And this is quite interesting. This is from Gaspari Nutrition. And I thought this was cool. I mean, yes, it's a new supplement, so it's exciting in itself. And it is not a category we see a lot of these days in testosterone booster. But Gaspari Nutrition has done something we've seen it do many times before. But every time it does it's as exciting as it always is. It's when you hear... It's that nostalgia thing, right? When you hear someone's remaking your movie from your childhood, you get excited, you get happy. And this is what Gaspari's done several times. If you're a fan of Gaspari, you would have seen them do it many times over the years. They did it with Super Pump. They did it with Plasma Jet. I think Novodix was another one they did it with. Basically, they bring back supplements from the past, give them a modern touch, new formula. But the name, they keep the name. It resonates with the fan base that are hung around, or even the fan base that may not have stuck with Gaspari, but saw them bringing this back and got back into it. But so basically last week, Gaspari Nutrition launched Viridix, which is a supplement they had many years ago. If I remember correctly, when I got into the industry, they launched it. So that's how far it goes back. Obviously, as mentioned, the formula is different. The name is pronounced the same. I still pronounce it the same, or I'm still pronouncing it the same. The original was called Viridix XT, and the new one is called Viridix XT. The difference is that the new one is spelled differently. So it's VIRIDEXXT. That's how they spell the new one, but that was how they spell the original. Getting mixed up here, but the new version is spelled with an A, VIRADEXXT. But again, I'm still pronouncing it the same. I think that's the point. But completely different formula. You can check that formula out on the site. The goal of the formula is basically, like most testosterone boosters, designed to naturally boost testosterone, block estrogen, in turn helping with lean muscle growth, size, strength, and weight loss. They've brought together a pretty traditional formula, not like in terms of just traditional ingredients, basically. A whole bunch of things that you will be familiar with. You will have seen in other supplements. You got tribulus, fenugreek, macaroon, gyms in there as well. So it's a a familiar blend, I would say, of ingredients. But it's that name that I thought was pretty cool to see them bring back. Every time they bring back another one, you kind of forget how many hits Gaspari had back in the day. I mean, these days you don't really see too many brands like trying to lead with those flagship names. A lot of brands even just call their pre-workout, so-and-so pre-workout. Beam was similar. So I was around, started in this industry basically when Gaspari came out with Veridex. So seeing them bring these things back, it's pretty cool to give a nod to the original fan base and those supplements that have been and gone. But yeah, so you can check out that on the site again. And the last two stories we're going to close off with, both pretty damn exciting. The first of which comes from Inspired. Inspired being our brand of the year for 2019. We haven't seen a whole lot of them in the first half of the year, but since the Stack Pro Expo, that's kind of changed course. The company came out, announced their very exciting new pre-workout, Devastate State of the Union. Devastate of the Union, states mixed in with the word Devastate, sorry. And that was revealed last month. I think it was launched for pre-order though, so people will be getting it this month, us included. I'm excited to give that one a go. And so they came out with a new supplement this past week, a supplement we actually had heard about and mentioned on the site previously, and it's the thermogenic infused version of Inspired Amino. It's officially, it doesn't say it on the label, but is being referred to as Inspired Amino Fuego. Basically, it's got everything, all the key highlights from the original Inspired Amino, which is a full spectrum EAA for recovery, repair, hydration. And so basically what they've done is they've taken almost the entire formula. I don't think there's many changes, many differences. I think there's like a slightly smaller blend of EAAs, like 1 gram lighter. Still got a lot of the key ingredients. On top of that, you got coconut water, Aquaman. I think, there you go. So it's missing the betaine and taurine from the original. But the idea is that they've thrown in a blend of ingredients to make it a more thermogenic weight loss type supplement. So you get all the benefits of the EAAs, the aminos, the hydration. But in place of the betaine and taurine, there's a big blend of, not big, but a blend of ingredients to support fat loss and thermogenesis. You get, I think it's a 1 gram blend, 1 gram blend of carnitine tartrate, grains of paradise, paradoxine branded grains of paradise, and GBB. So it'll certainly make you sweat. But it's a pretty cool product. I thought it was a nice little spin-off of the Inspired Amino. I definitely liked how they didn't, while they did, Inspired did remove the betaine and taurine, it's not a complete watered down version, if you know what I mean. Sometimes with these products, your brands will introduce like a thermogenic spin-off or a weight loss spin-off or an energy spin-off, and they take away a lot. And obviously you have to take away something if you're adding things into it. Like Inspired has with Fuego, they've added in the blend of weight loss ingredients. You can't expect it to be the same price and add things in. But they haven't taken away a whole lot. Like I said, I've seen brands that take away half the formula and add in a light weight loss blend, whereas Inspired's put together a pretty reasonable blend of weight loss ingredients. Not as much as an actual fat burner, but it's a good blend of both worlds, both Inspired Amino and like just typical weight loss supplement. And you'll with the GBB in there, you'll likely notice, if not definitely notice, the added benefits. But Inspired is not known to trick you out of your money, trick you out of your formulas, and so I think it is a great mix of the two. In fact, Inspired itself refers to it as if Inspired Amino and Inspired Ember had a baby. This is pretty much what it'll be. Inspired Ember is Inspired's flavored fat burner. The last story we have, and this is an exciting one. This is one I'm excited for. This is Core Zone. If you missed a story on the site, definitely head over there and check it out. So basically, Core finally revealed the formula behind Core Zone, which is its dedicated energy and focus supplement. Not to be confused with Core Zap. Core Zap is a product Core's had in the past, but it's been more of a high stim pre-workout solution. where it's just high stim. This is intended more for that everyday, anytime productivity, energy boost for gaming, study, work, even if even for cardio, even for exercise, if you just want a good mix of energy and focus. But it's so they've revealed the formula. They've been talking about this thing for months, but they finally revealed the formula, and as expected, it's not a pushover. They've brought together a pretty solid set of ingredients, enough for me to definitely take interest and want to get my hands on this thing to see how it rolls out. Now, they got a full blend of B vitamins, acetyl-L-carnitines in there, tyrosine, acetylcholine, echinopurines, bacopa, caffeine, urofactor. The other interesting one that they've thrown in here, which I thought was pretty cool, because they did make note that in their new Core Fury, or the more recent Core Fury, they had a very novel, very unique ingredient in there with pregnenolone, and it's not an ingredient you see in. I mean, I can't recall seeing it in any supplement. It'll be in some, and I might have missed it, but this is the first big one I've seen it in. But yeah, it's not an ingredient you see often. They threw it in there to enhance focus, and now they've also thrown it in Core Zone, and at the same dose, which I thought was pretty cool to see that consistency continue, and that the little unique feature that they had in Core Fury be continued across to Core Zone. But yeah, it's a very well-rounded, very robust, complete, comprehensive formula. I'm excited to give it a go. I'm a huge fan of just not like high stim, high energy, high focus stuff, just things that I can take on off days, even when I'm having to work extra hours, just to keep me going, keep me focused, keep me zoned in. And this thing looks like it's going to be on the money. The more exciting part about it is that the caffeine is insane. Like, the one thing I don't like with focus supplements sometimes is that they have the max dosages, and you can always lower the serving, but sometimes products will have the max dose, full dose of tyrosine, full dose of alpha GPC. But to get that full dose, you have to double scoop to 300 milligrams of caffeine. And yes, you can tone the scoop down, maybe have one and get 150 milligrams of caffeine, but then you lose out on all those other ones that you wanted the maximum dose of. And so obviously it's not easy to, give everybody what they want. And I'm not trying to be picky. That's why I guess the stim-free ones are good, because you can just throw in your energy drink and mix it up. But Core Zone has caffeine at 150, which is pretty much right in my ballpark. I like 150 to 200. 250, 300 gets a little bit too much for me when I'm trying to work or game or do anything like that. So I'm going to better throw the maximum of this one down and see how it rolls in real time in work, day-to-day stuff. I'm excited to try it. It's been a while since I had a truly competitive, full spectrum, fully loaded focus supplement. Alpha Brain's Switch On, I think, was one of the most recent ones. It's actually number 2 on my list of top 5 focus supplements. Man Sports Game Day. Brain Bridge is my number 1 at the moment. So I have high hopes. I have high hopes for Core Zone. I actually have their fat burner rated as our number 1 fat burner. So, they have the potential and power to deliver a number 1 top rated supplement, in Core Zone is looking on paper like it could. But obviously when you try these things in real life, in real firsthand, they don't always play out. But then again, sometimes they play out even better. But that is the wrap for this week. Thank you for tuning in. I will be back next week. I don't think I have anything on the cards to stop me. I am going to be working on getting some interviews together, and as always, definitely check out my Final Scoop podcast with the guys from Final Scoop. You got TJ from Fitness Deal News, the supplement engineer himself, Lucas, of course, from Prometheus, one of my longest friends, and Robert from Apollo Nutrition. You can check that out on Supplement Engineers YouTube channel as well. It's all over the usual podcast channels. But yes, thank you, and hope to have you back again next week.